asked which of the panel was advised at school to become a lawyer. The answer is Shazia Mirza.
Shazia, we are so going to have to get you a new photograph. I mean, you look unrecognisable. Your hair's a different colour, different...
Well, I had that facelift last week, didn't I?
Anyway, welcome back. It's our last show of the week with Terry, Christian and Shazia on the panel. Rob Bell's our special guest. Because I have a friend called Rob Bell. He still owes me 10 Frank Zappa albums he borrowed from me in 1981, yeah. Yeah, I know. Rob Bell, the other Rob Bell, give me my albums back. Still to come this morning, does a racy calendar featuring 12 naked red-headed guys. Does it leave you feeling blue? 0207 173 5555 is the number. Blue, well, because I think 60% of ginger guys get bullied for their hair, and I'm not sure this calendar is going to empower them, as one ginger campaigner claims. Right now, though, we're asking if a school careers advice is a waste of everyone's time. I'm told 4 out of 5 young people say they leave school unprepared for work. 2/3 of bosses feel secondary schools are ineffective at preparing the next generation for careers, while the former Skills Minister Robert Halfon, now chair of the Education Select Committee, he reckons head teachers are to blame for all of this because of their fixation on university. If we ask ourselves why we have a skills deficit, why we have problems with people doing enterprise and becoming entrepreneurs, he said, is because schools predominantly are fixated on university, and that has to change. Good quality advice on apprenticeships and schools and skills in schools, he added, was still very rare. And he thinks we need to raise the prestige of careers guidance. Now, the Department of Education, it says all schools must provide independent advice. That might include employer talks, career fairs, university visits, coaches and mentors. But 3/4 of state schools no longer provide decent careers advice. Some use the school receptionist or teaching assistant to dole out their pearls of wisdom. That said, I do know that some schools hold careers fairs where, firms give talks and hand out leaflets. That doesn't stop 40% of 16 to 25-year-olds saying they felt they left school with outdated advice. 3/4 said speaking to a recent graduate would have been more help than having a chat with a school careers advisor. We'll start with you, Shazia. Who was your school's career advisor? Was it an outside person or was it a teacher?
No, it was the PE teachers.
PE teacher.
When they weren't teaching us trampolining, they would come in. No, it weren't. They'd come in and give us careers advice. But honestly, I mean, I taught in a school a few years back where there was a shortage of teachers and the caretaker came in and gave careers advice. I mean, anybody can give careers advice. I mean, you don't have to be trained, but now they have PHSE, personal, social and health education, where within that they teach careers advice. Well,
is it good enough, in your opinion?
I mean, university isn't for everyone.
No.
But some schools are very competitive about exam results and league tables, and therefore they will give a certain type of careers advice, such as, why don't you get these grades and go to this university or study this higher education course? And there isn't so much emphasis on skills set or manual labour jobs or leaving school and doing an apprentice.
And your careers advice was to become a doctor? Or...
Well, I went to an all-girls school and they just wanted us all to be doctors, dentists and lawyers and solicitors and do something normal. If anybody came in and said I wanted to be a comedian, you'd get a detention.
What about you, Rob? What was your experience? Can you remember school careers advice?
Yes.
Can you remember who gave it to you?
I think it was my physics teacher.
So not an independent outside person, right?
Dear old Mr. Lewis doing his best.
Online, any form filling or questionnaires? So there's quite a lot of...
I'm older than that. So it was, kind of questionnaire you'd fill in, and then it would come back with something, like
Can you remember what
librarian.
It
wasn't librarian. I think I kind of pushed towards architect type thing.
Oh, well,
so
hang on, engineer, I mean...
Yeah, but, I mean, come on, but I'm nowhere near an architect right now. I'm quite passionate about this because I had a massive change in what I did halfway through my career. A good few years ago I moved into what I'm doing now, and I love it because I got a bit bored with what I was doing. I don't love this. I need to do something that's empowering me, and I think that's where advice should be, not necessarily about the job. Encouraging and empowering students to have intrigue and to go out and ask questions and to try and find their own career path. I mean, give them their own kind of self-esteem to do that. Is that not
part of general teaching rather than careers advice? Is you're educating young people to make decisions to help them make decisions further down the line in life.
Absolutely, I think it is, and I think your career path that you take is very much a choice of that. It's how empowered you think you are to take control and make decisions in your own way. Bearing in mind, I've been given tools. Think about what you love. Think about what you're passionate about. Think about what you're interested in. Follow that rather than think, am I wearing a stethoscope or am I wearing a wig? Am I a doctor or am I a lawyer?
Did any of your fellow peers, did you approach careers advice thinking, this is going to be the most important meeting of my life? Or did you approach it, as we did in my school, thinking, this is going to be a waste of 40 minutes of my time because the numpty talking to me knows nothing about the real world or my ambitions?
You knew it was a waste of time when you were going in.
There you go. So that's not changed.
But I say, even coming out of university, I wasn't clear on career at all. I didn't think I'd got the right guidance throughout university either. Or empowerment.
Me neither, although I'd go to my grave fighting that university is about academic freedom rather than pursuing a career path.
True.
That said, there were, what do they call them, milk rounds?
Yeah, milk rounds where all the big companies come in.
Terry, your careers advice at school?
None whatsoever.
I can see, Terry, I'm looking ahead, I can see there's going to be a TV show on Channel 4, it's going to be outrageous, and they're going to want someone just like you to front it, and they're going to call it The Word.
First of all, I was frightened of the idea of getting a job, and I still am, to it. But we had a chemistry teacher, but he never really spoke to us. Then we actually had a careers office that when you went in there were a few books on joining the RAF in 1952 and how to fit the engine on a gypsy moth. And it was like, you went like that, and it was like, and all the dust had come up. But it was an old-fashioned grammar school, so it was basically, we were being trained to run the empire and keep China British, you know? So really, the idea of us getting jobs, because to give us careers advice would have made us ask them difficult questions of, such as, why are we learning Latin?
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the careers advice of the future? Young child goes in, hello child, welcome to careers advice. My careers advice is there are no jobs, the world is run by robots. You will be exterminated, exterminated. What are people saying on the phone, Storm? What did your careers advisor tell you?
I didn't get any.
Did you not get...
No, when I saw this topic, I thought, that's
Nothing.
outrageous. Everybody get careers advice by... Maybe that's why I've ended up here. We've got William, who might have a story online too.
Good morning, William.
Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. So, your careers advice, what did you have at school?
Well, it's going back to a time when careers masters were... I was sort of the vanguard of them being introduced to old-fashioned grammar schools. Right. And I did get careers advice, and I took it because... my first session, he advised me to complete my education at another establishment. I did, and via technical school, I ended up having a very successful engineering career.
Well, was the advice from a professional outside advisor, or was it from a teacher?
Oh no, he was a teacher in the school, and he was suddenly elevated to being the careers master.
Yes. Do you think that younger people today are getting useful information from schools or not?
It's difficult to say. A lot depends on the background of the school and the school's aims if they're trying to get them all to go to university, or whether they do take a broad brush view of life. But it's very much 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I think, across the schools.
Okay, thank you. Let's have another.
We've got Maimuna on line 3.
Maimuna, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Your careers advice at school, can you remember? Was it useful?
Mine wasn't useful at all. Because I asked him, I basically told him that I wanted to be a dietitian when I left school, and his response was, I think that's going to be very difficult and I don't think you should do it.
What?
I was a bit like, okay, so when I chose my A-levels, I chose them and it completely steered away from that career, which was a bit annoying because I went on to do a degree in dance, and then at the end of my degree, I was like, okay, I don't really want to do anything to do with dance, so what should I do now? And then I thought to myself, well, I actually wanted to be a dietitian when I was like all them years ago. So then I restarted the process to becoming a dietitian. And I finished my degree like a few weeks ago, and I'm actually starting my new job in about a week's time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awful to hear that you could have been doing that, years ago if it wasn't for your careers advisor. Thank you for the call. Last word to our Simon Wara, professional teacher, albeit in the private sector.
I think that there's been a certain amount of levity on this discussion, but I think it's very important, particularly when you consider these days people going to university are spending or owing thousands and thousands of pounds. And I think careers advice in school is very, very important.
But would you say is it done well or badly?
It's done badly.
Right, so what needs to change?
Well, they need people to come in from outside into school. At the moment, state schools are having to pay for careers advice to come into school, whereas before, if you go back 10 or 15 years, it was provided. And what about getting people who are perhaps doing apprenticeships now, or have done them, who were to come into school to give advice?
That's just what the studies that we were reading were saying, that younger people, school leavers, want recent graduates and people on apprenticeships to come in and tell them about it. And instead of the geography teacher, the school secretary...
How can a teacher offer advice? I can teach the
That's a good point. You are a teacher.
Well,
How can you offer advice?
I can teach the past participles, I can teach the passé composé, the reflexive verbs, but I couldn't give people advice on careers.
On having a proper job.
Well, exactly.
I'm teasing you, Simon, I'm teasing you. But it's interesting, your views are exactly in line with the studies that we were reading before we came today. After the break, don't know what you're going to think on this. I'm asking if this racy calendar that features 12 naked red-headed guys is going to leave you feeling blue. Does it do anything for ginger people who get bullied? 0207 173 5555 is the number. Is it not ultimately just objectifying good-looking gym bunnies? And whatever their hair colour, who's that going to help? Last phone of the week coming up next.
Which celebrity, like